Hello everyone, Barb here from barbaderholt.closetomyheart.com. I hope you are having a fabulous day. Today's card is featuring the April stamp of the month called Message in a Bottle. Super cute little stamp set with all of these different bottles. And I struggled a little bit thinking about how to use them. And I came up with a little idea that I think will work. I pulled the little foam pad out of the stamp set here. Please excuse my band-aid. I cut my finger. But this is in every stamp set that we have, and it makes a really great stamping cushion. You get a better stamped image. So I've got that underneath and some scrap paper. This is one of our card bases, so I've got that there. I have black ink, just plain Jane old black. The cracked pistachio, this is the Distress Oxide, and then another Distress Oxide called Peacock Feathers. I have some little scraps of paper. I'm using up some paper pack pieces, and this is from the In Full Bloom set of papers, which I believe is still good through the end of April while supplies last. I have a white daisy 2¼ inch circle. I used one of my favorite punches. This is, I'm making a huge faux pas, but this is from Stampin' Up. And my belief and my philosophy in crafting is, if you love it, use it. If you don't love it, you won't use it. So this is one of my favorite punches. When I need to do a lot of circles, I grab a punch. It's easier than cranking all sorts of times through my Sizzix machine. This is fast and quick. I have sponges on the ends of my applicators here. I have one for my black. I have one that goes with Distress Cracked Pistachio and another one that goes with the Peacock Feathers. I will give you a quick show and tell of how I store them. They are each in the little bag that I labeled. I don't seal the bags, I just tuck them in and out of there. This helps me to keep track of what I have for little foam applicator pads and what I don't. I have all of my distresses over here, and these are the ones that I have to coordinate with the regular ink pads. You don't want to use your oxides on your regular dye ink pads. I don't think that's a good idea. I don't think it's the end of the world if you do it, but I think that that cross-contamination can do some funky things between your stamp pads. So I have individually given them their own little bag. The little bags, you can find these at Walmart, Michael's, Hobby Lobby, all of those sorts, Joann's, any place that sells stuff to make jewelry. They will sell these little bags that people use when they sell their jewelry. These are little display bags, and I think they're the perfect size. They work wonderfully. Then this has a lid. I can snap it closed so I don't dump everything all over the place. Ask me why I know that. Let's get started. We're going to start with our black ink. And I am creating my own pattern paper using these different bottles. So I'm going to stamp a couple of these little bottles all around that paper. This is really easy, and it doesn't have to be perfect. It's just random stamping. I am overlapping them. You can or cannot. Depends on your mood. I usually bounce back and forth between a shorter one and a taller one so that I can mix it up that way, though it really doesn't matter. And then we're back to this little short round guy. Super cute. And it looks like a hot mess. That's okay. I do have, I think I will take this little skinnier guy and put him right there. And I do have room for the top of one down here, so I think I'll take this just a little wider And do that down there and fill that in. There. It'll be fine. Don't be worried. Then I have my piece of round white daisy cardstock, my 2¼ inch piece. And I'm going to stamp the rounder of the little vases. Then I took the little heart image. Isn't that sweet? And I'm going to stamp that right inside of the bottle. And there's this tiny little thank you. Now this is part of a set of cards that I'm making for a dear friend who is in rehab right now. Well, the rehabilitation, she'd had some surgery. So I thought it would be nice for her to have some thank you cards to send out to people because I know she's been receiving lots of love. I am also going to take my ink blender and go around the edges of the pieces of paper. I am doing this to save myself from matting the pieces of paper. I didn't like how they looked on that busy pattern that I created with the stamps. I felt like these got lost. So by inking the edges, I'm giving the edges some definition so it stands out. So I did it around the bottle and I did it around the 2 pieces of paper. We'll set those to the side. I think we are done with the black. Now we get to the fun part, the ink blending. I'm going to open these up and I am going to, I saw this tip somewhere, I can't remember who said it, but she tapped it off in the lid, and that's a perfect place because your ink stays in there and you can use it to do ink splatters or do a little water painting with that ink. I thought it was a brilliant idea for a way to, instead of tapping it off on paper, that keeps it around so you can use it. And I am using the cracked pistachio and the peacock feathers. Right now I've got peacock feathers going, and now we'll add a little of the cracked pistachio around the outside edge. And I think those 2 colors together create this really interesting blend. It lightens up the peacock feathers a little bit without being overly green. And I'm not worrying about the middle so much because we will be covering that up. Okay, that looks pretty good. Now I'm going to take my little pieces here and I am going to adhere them down. I'm using tape runner, my ATG gun. What I discovered the last time I mailed handmade cards was that, of course, thickness matters when you are sending cards through the mail. It also matters whether you put a lot of layers and make your card thick. The other thing that they check is how bendable the card is. And when you do a lot of layering and you use glue, it stiffens the card up, and they consider that to be non-machinable, I think is the word that she used. So if you're looking to send these through the mail with the least amount of postage, then you want it to be bendable. So I used pattern paper, which is thinner, and I used my tape runner so that it would be more bendable. And that will just take regular postage. I'm going to put these in a little box that I'm going to make, and I am going to give these as a gift with postage so that my friend can send thank you notes, because I'm sure she has been gifted with many, many, many lovely gifts wishing her well. Now let's see here. I did 3 different colors. So you can see this is the color that we just did with the cracked pistachio and the peacock feathers. This is, let's see here, I have the color combination, worn lipstick and abandoned coral. So we've got that one going on. That's what this combination looks like. This pattern paper came from a mix-in pack from a little while ago. Again, I'm kind of stash busting here, and I thought that that was such a pretty color and bright and cheery. Then I did the Sweetest Honey paper. I had a little bit left in there. So the inks that I used for Sweetest Honey, spiced marmalade, and then I did some pumice stone. The pumice stone I did around the outside edge because, and a little bit on this white circle because it looked funny with the color of this pattern paper. It just needed a little something. That white was too jarring for my eye. So that's what I did. So I have a set of, oh, let's see, 12 cards, and I will give her a dozen stamps and put them in a cute little box. And I will probably be doing a video showing my cute little box creation that I made up all on my own. So that's it. That's today's card featuring the Message in a Bottle April 2022 Stamp of the Month. It is available for the regular price of $18.95. If you spend $50, you get this for $5. If you are one of my VIPs or a VIP with close to my heart, you can get this when you spend $50 for free. Just one of those super benefits of being a VIP. Thank you so much for stopping by. Have a blessed, crafty day, and I'll see you next time.